Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast. Hey guys, happy Friday, guys. Welcome to today's show. Welcome. Guys, I want to apologize. I want to apologize for one thing, okay? As you know, there was not a show yesterday. We were supposed to have a scheduled show launched last night on Spotify, Google, and Apple, but I don't know if you know, or if you live in the Atlanta area here in Georgia, which I happen to live in myself, we had some thunderstorms and some severe lightning, and basically fried our main Wi-Fi servers that we use to not only record our episodes but broadcast our episodes as well too. Completely just fried our servers. Had to get brand new servers here for the studio, so we're back up and running, God willing. God, I hope it never happens again. My buddy Paul here joining on the show today. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for allowing me to basically use your studio here to record the podcast tonight, as we are revamping my home studio at my house, where I do most of all my episodes from time to time. Paul is a gentleman and a scholar at heart and allows me to use his recording studio on the other end of the city here in Atlanta. But thank you very much, man. Much appreciation. Like I say, the show has to go on, right? It has to go on in some type of form of format. But with that being said, guys, welcome to today's show. Back up and running. I was upset, guys, yesterday. I was really upset. I wanted to get a show in. I was trying all different types of avenues to get this show in last night, but we couldn't do it. Was trying to get a couple of guys that I know that have studios, recording session studios, and other avenues of that nature in other areas here in Atlanta. They weren't around, and I was just mad. I was like, you know what? I gotta get this episode in. I gotta give my listening base what they deserve to hear. I mean, every single day they expect to hear, or they'd like to hear, an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast. And yesterday, I hope, guys, I really say this with the bottom of my heart, I hope I didn't disappoint. I hope I didn't disappoint any of you guys out there. You guys were upset that you didn't hear it, because I get a lot of listeners on the show that, that really pour their hearts out, and they really appreciate my content. They appreciate everything I do on the show here. And you're welcome. You're welcome. But yesterday, guys, it was a doozer. There's a lot of storms in the Atlanta area and basically destroyed the entire studio. So, but don't worry, because come Monday, I'll be back in my home studio at the house recording Monday's episode. But we're in Paul's studio here, which is lovely. Always love to be here. He's got an awesome setup. You really do, Paul. You have an awesome setup, man. I know you're like the silent majority here on the show when I come into your studio, but that's okay, because you're the magic behind the scenes when I'm in your studio. You really you're really there for me, when I need you, and I really appreciate that. But with that being said, guys, welcome to today's show. We got a lot to talk about. I want to say one thing and I want to say one thing only. This is going to come from the heart. This I don't apologize for, okay? I don't apologize for being unfiltered, unscripted, and raw as a podcast host, okay? I want to say something that really triggered me, and it takes a lot to trigger me because I consider myself a conservative. I consider myself a true patriot of an American, and this is what's really pissing me off. Okay, well, it pissed me off today. I really don't get mad at the emails or any type of feedback I get from listeners, or sometimes I get a couple liberals, or just a couple of knuckleheads that tune into the show. They think that they're better, and they want to one-up me and try to one-up my content. And hey, that's okay. More power to you. If you think if you think you have a show that's better than mine, more power to you. I'm not going to criticize, because that's not me. But what I am going to get upset about is when you label stuff that's not true. It's not accurate. Okay? I had this guy email me this morning. Okay? I'm not going to give his last name for privacy issues, because even though this dude is a schmuck, he's a punce, he's a bully, he's a peon, he's all this, right? Okay, I'm not going to say his last name. You know why? Because I'm better than that. I'm not going to sink to his level. Okay? But what I am going to say is that this guy, this dude from, what was it, Vermont? Vermont, yeah, yes, Vermont. From Vermont, this guy named Peter, okay, literally emailed me this morning. Emailed me on my personal email here on the show, and literally was criticizing everything I say on the show. Like, oh, I listen to your content, Mike. You're wrong on a lot of different angles. You're this, you're that, you're that, you're this, right? Hey, man, I appreciate you tuning into my show, for one. And secondly, you must have a lot of time on your hands to literally question every little piece of my content. That's great. I guess I have a super fan on my hands, right? I mean, I do have loyal listeners that tune into the show, don't get me wrong. But this guy literally went out of his way to literally try to make me into a jerk through his email. He was literally saying, do you guys want to hear this? I'll start the show off like this, because this it made me laugh. And then there was some parts of the email that didn't make me laugh. I'm sorry I'm putting you out there like this, but, you first of all, for somebody that goes out of their way to literally try to make you into a jerk of a podcast host, there's something wrong with you. Liberalism is a mental disorder, and clearly this guy is suffering from it. A lot of liberalism. This dude is suffering from not only liberalism, but he's suffering from a lot. Okay? This guy is questioning every little piece of my content that I share on the show here. He questions my integrity. He's questioning even my patriotism as an American. And then he's questioning capitalism is wrong in this country. First of all, everything that he questioned in the beginning, I'm laughing and I'm letting it go, through one ear out the other, right? But the one thing that I'm not going to let go is this capitalism crap, because he literally questioned me on capitalism. First of all, dude, all right? Capitalism, there's nothing wrong with that. People come to this country for that, to capitalize their growth as an individual and to develop it to make them successful. That's capitalism, right? The majority of all major businesses in this country started off with capitalism. They either succeeded or they failed. Major companies today that we have today in this country started off capitalizing their small growth or their small fortune to make it what it is today. That is capitalism. And I'm trying to explain it to this guy, and then after a couple sentences, I'm like, you know what, Mike, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just, it's just probably some 21-year-old kid, living in his mommy and daddy's basement still, not knowing a damn thing about anything in this world. So, I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm not going to let peons that email me from time to time think that they're better. Hey, listen, if you got a show, more power to you. If you think your show is better, more power to you. I think he's like, a smaller type of podcast host that's just getting into the industry. And, I guess by thinking, trying to one up another podcast host such as myself, and then questioning me about my own freedom and questioning me about my freedom of speech. Like, he's an advocate of freedom of speech, but then he's attacking somebody that supports freedom of speech, like myself, and that's wrong. And not only is that wrong, but you're more or less you're showing the world, and you're also showing yourself that you're nothing but a hypocrite and a fake and a fraud. That's not freedom of speech. You're going to attack somebody else that supports freedom of speech, such as myself, but then you're going to be the one that says, I'm a big advocate and I'm a big supporter of somebody that does support free speech. Like I said, you're a fraud, you're a fake. I don't want to talk to you. Because what you say doesn't make sense, and it doesn't. It goes through one ear out the other. I'm sorry, you lost me. I can't talk to you anymore. You lost me. I can care less. I'm not begging supporters to support me here on the podcast. I don't go out and I don't beg people to listen to me. You don't want to listen to me? This is not your show? Oh well, you know what to do, right? But I'm not going to stand for somebody that just wants to attack on every little level, because that's just wrong. You just don't do that. And I'm not going to stand for it. Because you know what? This is my show. I say what's on my show. And I'm not afraid to express my fucking language on this show as well, too. Because if you notice in the beginning of my show, it says for mature audiences only, right? If this type of content offends you, you know what to do. Trust me, you're not hurting my feelings. I got a lot of loyal listeners that like listening to the show because of my content, my character of a person, and also my character as a host, as a podcast host. That's why they tune into me every day. So I'm not going to let this joker, this idiot, try to bring me down because he thinks he's uppity, because he just started a podcast, and I live with my mommy and my daddy, and I'm eating Hot Pockets. Got a lot more to say on the show after these quick words. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by our good friends at Harry's.com. What is Harry's.com? It is a awesome, affordable set of razors and other products as well too. Harry's has been around since 2013. Back in 2013, the makers of Harry's, which is a German company, realized that shaving could be easier, more affordable, and as well more enjoyable, right? So they decided to come up with a concept to create super quality razors for the everyday Joe. These razors are super affordable, they're super convenient, and they're easy on the wallet, guys. These are quality blades that are designed in a factory in the country of Germany. Where can you pick up these razors? Just about everywhere, guys. Walmart, Target, Walgreens. I've seen them at CVS. They're just about everywhere where you can buy razors at. If you can't go into a store or you'd like to shop on their website, they do have a website, guys, harrys.com. Visit them at harrys.com, and you can also explore their full range of products, including body wash, bar of soap, face wash, shaving cream, shaving gel, post-shave mist, face lotion, just to name a few. They even have anti-dandruff shampoo and conditioner, guys. Constantly coming out with new products, new set of brands to their brand. So visit harrys.com and mention that you heard it on the Patriot Angle podcast.
Michael Gardner, a host like no other. Unfiltered, unhinged, unscripted, raw.
Hey guys, just want to make a quick announcement. This Tuesday, we're going to have a special co-host joining me on the show. Collectively Cole. Not sure if you ever seen some of her content on Facebook. She does political rants, sometimes even personal rants. You can find her, like I said, on her Facebook page, Collectively Cole. Awesome content. I've been trying to get her on my show for quite some time. Finally been able to do it. She'll be joining the Patriot Angle podcast, guys, this Tuesday. You're not going to want to miss it. Collectively Cole, yes, will be joining me on the podcast this Tuesday. Hey guys, back to the show here. I want to get into this article here, coming out of MSNBC's Melbourne, saying stupid DeSantis needs to grow up. Little children are fighting to breathe in Florida. It's relating, that DeSantis is literally not pushing the mandate for the masking. Check this out, guys. There's a lot of trending news this week here, and I thought I'd plug this into the show.
This current COVID resurgence is hitting one especially hard, Florida. That's where Governor Ron DeSantis is finding his long effort to attack basic proven COVID safety measures is blowing up in his face, but far more importantly, it's blowing up in the face of his constituents. COVID cases and hospitalizations there in Florida breaking all-time records. Experts say the state's ICUs look like a, quote, war zone. This is a time when states need objective, sober leadership. But DeSantis is only doubling down on his partisan ideological approach, blaming everything from the media to immigration policy for what is happening in his state, instead of addressing what he and the state government can do now to curb the spread.
Obviously, media does hysteria. Joe Biden has taken to himself to try to single out Florida over COVID. You try to fearmonger. He's imported more virus from around the world by having a wide open southern border. And this has been a really negative thing throughout this whole thing with some of these, quote, experts, some of the media.
While DeSantis talks about these, quote, experts with scare quotes, the actual experts and leaders are the people figuring out how to help Americans deal with this, people who face the risk of infection or death, and that's regardless of whether they're in a red or blue state. The federal government now jumping in with emergency measures to try to help.
Shut this clown off. Let me say something here. This is nothing new, guys. This is nothing new. Okay, we're seeing mainstream media. We're even seeing some public figures, such as the celebrity wing, get their hands on this masking vaccine hysteria, and it's going on, guys. The liberalism in this country is out of control. It really is. It's out of control. It's unhinged. These people are losing their freaking minds. Literally losing their fucking minds over this mask crap. Okay? And if you heard Melber earlier on his show there, this was 2 days ago, Wednesday on his show, playing catch up, guys, because we didn't have a show yesterday. But this is nothing new. He was saying that he wants to quickly blame Biden for border crisis, for virus surge, for this, for that. Well, yeah. And then he goes again and says, well, how come he's not controlling it in his own state? Guys, the media, do they report on a 5th grade reading level or something? Seriously. He's fighting every freaking day for Floridians. And he's doing a damn good job. Now, he could fight the good fight every single day. Literally, every day. He could fight that fight every single day. But what DeSantis is trying to say, okay, and maybe I can enlighten Melber from MSNBC, what he's trying to say, that this host doesn't seem to understand, is that he's fighting the fight, okay? He's putting his own ban on masking. He's ending that so people can have freedom. But he can only do so much when you have a president that isn't doing enough. Enough. You understand? You have a president in the United States that is not doing enough. He keeps on pushing the mask and the vaccines down people's throats. You got to get your vaccine. You got to get your mask. You got to do this. You got to do that. But is he doing anything with the illegal immigrants that are literally flooding this country? Is he doing any of that? Is he? Well, a lot of people will come to call it. He's doing something. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's not doing enough, guys. Not doing enough. There's an article here that we're starting to see, literally, that I just mentioned here. Groups of 500,000 migrants just this past month in July. The highest, folks, in 21 years. Yeah, the highest in 21 years. Coming across this country. And what is Biden doing about it? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Former CBP chief is now saying 40,000 COVID positive aliens are released into U.S. by Biden's DHS team. Yeah. Can you believe that? Biden is releasing 40,000 plus COVID positive illegal aliens into this country. That was just in the last month. While another group of 400,000 are pouring into this country, not being properly screened, not being properly checked, not being properly nothing. A slap on the wrist. If you're an illegal immigrant, you can come right into this country. No problem there. No problem there. But when you're an actual citizen of this country, you get criticized, you get vaccines jammed down your fucking throat every damn day of your life. This president, folks, is literally putting America last. Literally, America last. And the article here that the former Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, Mark Morgan, says President Joe Biden's Department of Homeland Security released these illegal aliens with the coronavirus in their bodies, not even screening them, just letting them come right into the country. Where's the media on that? Huh? Where's the damn mainstream media on that? Sick. Morgan also said that the administration has released upwards of 175,000. Yeah, I had to fix the number there because I'm reading it here from the article here. 175,000 border crossers and another roughly 100,000 unaccompanied alien children into the U.S. since this past January 20th. Can you believe that, folks? And it's getting higher every single day, the numbers of these illegals coming into this country. The borders are wide the fuck open under this administration, and they can care two shits. At a 15% positive rate, being conservative, that's more than 40,000 positive COVID cases that have been released into the United States. And that is just the cases that we are about from those who have been tested. And we know that everybody being released, they're not being tested. We know that. Does the Biden administration know that? I'm sure they do. But they'd rather talk about other things like vaccines and COVID and why you should get the vaccine and this and that. It's like a big fucking advertisement to this people. Sick, folks. What you are seeing in this country is pure sickness. It's disgusting. Crazy. And other news, did you hear? I was getting into the Hollywood sector, right? Everybody knows Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah, he was the governor of California. He was in blockbuster movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger now is saying to folks, don't be a schmuck, put the mask on. He's saying that everybody that doesn't wear a mask are schmucks. Can you believe that? Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger doubling down. Don't be a schmuck, put the mask on. Yeah. Listen, guys, I love the guy. He's an awesome actor. He was an okay governor of California. My personal opinion, should never have gotten into politics, but that's just my personal opinion. Maybe it had a lot to do with being involved with, and married to a Kennedy. I can understand that. I don't want to get into that, but I can understand that. But the actor and former California governor, Schwarzenegger, doubled down on calling non-mask wearers schmucks, saying that for the far-left magazine, The Atlantic. And also saying that it's the only subject that can make me lose my temper when people don't wear a mask. Oh, he's going to lose his temper. So you could be walking near him down Hollywood Boulevard there in California. He's going to lose his temper because you're not wearing a mask. This is the hysteria, folks, we live in every single day in this country. It's disgusting. I see it every day here in Atlanta. I walk by liberals every day in Atlanta. Sometimes if I go to my favorite coffee shop, I see somebody walking down the street. They look at me with 5 different heads like I'm an alien from outer space or something. Or I'm some kind of weirdo or something. I'm from New York. You would see a lot of weirdos in the village after like 10, 11 o'clock. But, that was like, years and years ago. I'm sure there are still weirdos. But, that's what they look at you like you're a weirdo. Like, because I don't want to wear a mask and I actually believe in free, fresh air to breathe, I'm weird and there's something wrong with me? No, I just believe in not wearing a mask because this is America. This is not a third world hellhole. Well, we have to wear diapers over our face. I'm sorry, but it's true. Right? But this is the Hollywood actor here. And then he goes to say, literally, at the end, screw your freedom. You got to listen to this crap. This is terrible, folks. Literally terrible. I mean...
Well, first of all, you have to understand that as soon as the virus happened, and we have finally more and more people from government have, kind of acknowledged the fact that there is a virus. And they were kind of very late, may I remind you, in warning the people. But finally, when they did warn us and it did spread, and we had to kind of cancel our Arnold's Classic Sports and Fitness Festival in Columbus, and we were only allowed to have a limited crowd last March, meaning a year and a half ago. That's when I realized that we all have to now come together on this thing. And so I started putting posts out there about washing your hands regularly and wearing a mask and to do social distancing and to follow the kind of rules that the experts put out there and to face the fact that this is here and this is going to grow and it's going to expand and it's going to really affect a lot of people's lives. And so now, cut a year and a half later, we are still in a mess. And, there's still people that live in denials. There's still people that don't believe in masks. There's still people out there that say, well, we don't have to do social distancing and all this kind of stuff. And I just think that people ought to be reminded over and over that the experts are saying that we have to wear masks, especially when you go indoor. The experts are saying we still should wash our hands regularly. We should still do social distancing, especially now with this new comeback of the virus, which is the fourth round now, that we have to really go and work together on that. And there is misinformation out there. And my point of it was basically, look, I'm an expert on how to build a bicep. And so therefore, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I've studied this issue. I know exactly how to create this peak and all this stuff. There's no one that knows more about a bicep than I do because I studied this issue for 50 years. And the same is also with the virus. There are people out there that are experts that study this year after year after year, and that are experienced, like Dr. Fauci, that has been in this, probably for his entire life. I mean, why would you not believe someone like that? So, and there's so many other scientists out there and experts in this subject. So I believe them and I follow them very carefully. And of course, sometimes things are happening that are unexpected. So then you have to make the adjustments and all that. But I think people should know there is a virus here. It kills people. And the only way we prevent it is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time, and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom. Because with freedom comes obligations and responsibilities. We cannot just say, I have the right to do X, Y, and Z. When you affect other people, that is when it gets serious. It's like no different than a traffic light. We put a traffic light at an intersection so someone doesn't kill someone else by accident. So this is why we have a traffic light. You cannot say, no one is going to tell me that I'm going to stop here, that I have to stop at this traffic light here. I'm going to go right through it. Yeah, then you kill someone else, and then it is your doing. So this is the same thing with the virus. You cannot go and not put a mask on because when you breathe, you can infect someone else, and you can infect someone that then gets sick.
Oh, shut up. Shut up, Arnold. You know, I lost respect for this guy. I really have. Now I have lost respect for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Used to love him. I grew up off this guy over all the years. Watched his movies, the Terminator movies, watched his romance flicks, his comedy jerkers. I watched all of them. But this guy totally lost my damn respect. I mean, this is terrible, guys. He's now saying, screw your freedom because you don't have a right to breathe on somebody to infect them. Yes, Arnold, we have rights. With all due respect, this isn't your home country. Okay, where you're from, of Austria. Okay, this is the United States of America. We have freedoms and liberties. You have the freedom to wear no mask. If I choose to go out in public and not put the damn diaper on my face, the muzzle, whatever the hell you want to call it, I call it that because it looks like one of them. That's my God-given right. I don't have to listen to these tyrants of people that want to control my life, or at least try to control my life, because I'm not going to allow it to happen. It's my life, not their life. They don't tell me what to do. I tell myself what to do. And that's my rant. Okay? Screw my freedom? No. I have a right not to put the damn mask on. I'm not a schmuck. We have to listen to the experts. The misinformation. The misinformation is coming from the experts because they're tippy-toeing around it for the last year and a half. Remember, we all had to hear what? Back in March, it would take 2 weeks to slow the spread. 2 weeks went into 6 months. Here we are now. And then in between, we had Dr. Doom telling you got to put 2 masks on, 3 masks on, 4 masks on. Shit. By the time he gets to 5th and 6th mask, you'll be passing out for bad levels of carbon dioxide. True. You don't need a PhD to figure that one out. I think we're being misled by the doctors and the fake scientists that are claiming to be scientists to begin with. We're not getting misled by people. The people that understand this are waking up. They're waking up to understand this. To understand it doesn't make sense. Half the crap that they're saying doesn't make sense. It's terrible. But if you notice that, though, Schwarzenegger made no mention of the Democratic politicians who were caught maskless during the height of the coronavirus pandemic, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Did he mention that? No, they're okay. They get a slap on the wrist. They get a quick little pass on that one. They're allowed to pass go. But I guess we're not allowed to pass go. We got to get sent back to Monopoly prison, right? It's a bunch of bullshit, guys. It really is. It's terrible. What's going on? Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't know how much more we have to suffer from this crap. I really don't. The control, the fear-monger in this country has gone on way too damn much. Losing words here, guys. You've known me over the last couple of years now on the podcast. When I get into a heated topic, I go. But it's going on too long. This control, the fear-mongering, it's got to stop. It's got to stop.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.